What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, tonight marks the night of the highly anticipated mega showdown at super middleweight. It marks the night for the biggest marquee fight for undefeated, two-time WBC super middleweight undefeated world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, David the Mexican Monster Benavidez, who is 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 23 big wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 6'2", with a 75-inch arm reach. He's going to face the biggest challenge of his career tonight, as he's going to take on undefeated two-division world champion, superstar boxer, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Demetrius Andrade is 32 wins, no losses, no draw, 19 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach, and is a slick southpaw. So, with that said, David Benavidez is looking to add the second biggest name to his career, to his resume, tonight. He finally captured that marquee fight with his biggest rival in former IBF super middleweight world champion superstar boxer Caleb Sweethand Plant fight in his last fight. But by the time he got Caleb Plant had already suffered an 11th round knockout loss to the man David the Mexican Monster Benavidez is chasing. And that's 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer who is widely acknowledged and recognized as the face of the sport of boxing, and the undisputed super middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. Caleb Plant suffered a knockout 11th round loss to Canelo Alvarez for an undisputed match. The biggest fight at super middleweight was David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant for unification bout, when David Benavidez was the WBC super middleweight champion and Caleb Plant was the IBF super middleweight champion. But David Benavidez got stripped of his WBC title, better known as World Boxing Council title. He got stripped due to recreational drug use, was stripped of his title. Then David Benavidez regained the title, beating Anthony Durrell, lost the title, went full circle, came back, regained the title, and then only to lose it again during a global pandemic for missing weight on the scale. Missed weight on the scale and lost the title again. And what did that do? That gave the opening to Canelo Alvarez to have a clear path to undisputed without having to go through David Benavidez. Didn't have to go through David Benavidez now. Gave him a clear path to undisputed in under a calendar year. He fought the WBA super middleweight world champion, undefeated British star boxer Caleb Smith in a unification bout. Unification? How? He didn't even have a fight in this division. Well, it was a unification because they allowed, that being the World Boxing Council President Mauricio Sulaiman, board of 32 members, they allowed Canelo Alvarez to fight for David Benavidez's vacant WBC title and Caleb Smith's WBA title. And he beat Caleb Smith and made him the unified champion. He picked up the WBC title. He picked up the WBA title all in one fight. And then he defended the titles in a light touch fight against Avni Yildirim. Then he went on to fight the WBO super middleweight world champion. Now, who wasn't really truly a super middleweight? But in Billy Joe Saunders, British superstar boxer. He fought Billy Joe Saunders. He knocks out Billy Joe Saunders, breaks his orbital bone. Then he goes on and he fights Caleb Plant and beats Caleb Plant. In the meantime, David Benavidez is trying to find his way back to the top, back to becoming a world champion, and ultimately to that Canelo Alvarez fight. And in trying to do so, this is the route he had to take. He had to fight a guy that Canelo Alvarez has been avoiding as well, because Canelo Alvarez was the unified champion at middleweight, beating Danny Jacobs, beating Gennady Golovkin, and was the unified middleweight champion. He said he wanted to become the first Mexican-born fighter to become the undisputed middleweight champion. And there was only one man standing in his way, and that man was Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. And Canelo Alvarez said, no, I'm going to dare to be great. I'm going to exit this division. Well, I thought daring to be great was fighting to become undisputed at middleweight, 160, a glamour division in the sport of boxing. See, 160 is a glamour division, 147, 135, and heavyweight. Those are the marquee glamour divisions in the sport of boxing. Middleweight, lightweight, welterweight, and heavyweight. The other divisions are great divisions, but they're not the glamour divisions. Thought you wanted to become undisputed in the glamour division, but I think not. He decided to go in a different direction, which was to go to light heavyweight, skip over 168 because David Benavidez was at 168. He skipped over 168, went to 175, fought Sergey Kovalev instead of fighting Demetrius Andrade. So they had to come together and fight each other to convince Canelo Alvarez to give one of them the opportunity, or dare I say, just put themselves in a position where he's in a pickle, that being Canelo Alvarez, and has to fight one of them because now there's no way he can say, payday, you want payday? I know that. You did nothing. You beat nobody. That's what Canelo Alvarez told Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. You did nothing. You beat nobody. I know that. Payday. You want payday? I know that. So that's what he said, right? That's what Canelo Alvarez said. And so they ended up having to come together to face off against one another to possibly get the Canelo Alvarez fight. And tonight marks the night that Andrade is either going to get the opportunity to prove that he belongs in the conversation of one of the best fighters. It's late in his career, 35 years of age. He's 35. So with that said, this is a difficult style for both guys. Extremely difficult for Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade because he's very inactive and an older fighter. It's extremely difficult for David Benavidez because Demetrius Andrade is slick, he's a southpaw, and he has power, he's rangy, and he's big, and he's strong. When you just look at their body frames, look at the body mass, look at the body frames going into this fight. Andrade looks like the bigger guy, just frame, just wide, just mass. David Benavidez has extremely fast hands, and he's extremely active, puts a lot of mental and physical pressure on you. But we saw David Benavidez getting outboxed by Caleb Plant. We saw him getting outboxed by Anthony Durrell. We saw him getting outboxed by slick boxers. But the problem is they've run out of gas in the second half of the fight because he's putting such mental and physical pressure on his opponents with his hand speed, cutting off the ring, with his size. He's very imposing. Will that be the case with Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who's slick? See, when you watch the Caleb Plant fight with David Benavidez, Caleb Plant was making him miss by miles, making him look like an amateur. But then that pressure, that mental pressure, that hand speed, that size, it started to get to Caleb Plant, and he ultimately succumbed to it and lost. He decided to do a lot of excessive holding, right? A lot of excessive holding in the fight. And David Benavidez won a unanimous decision. Tonight marks the night that won't be the case, in my opinion. I think that Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Now, my only dilemma in my choice of picking who I feel like is going to win this fight, the only dilemma I have in this entire scenario, my dilemma is, the dilemma that I have is that the inactivity and the age of Demetrius Andrade, is his legs going to start to wear down because he's ultimately a sharp, slick southpaw with a lot of power that can counter David Benavidez the entire night and keep up the pace. But ultimately, I think he will. And I think for the first time in David Benavidez's career, he's going to face a lot of adversity going into the second half of this fight. And I think that we saw David Benavidez, he got dropped with a jab by Ronald Graville. And I think tonight he's going to get dropped in about the 7th, 8th round by a left hand from Demetrius Andrade. And I think Demetrius Andrade is going to win a split decision victory en route to a rematch between the two. Neither guy is going to face Canelo Alvarez next. They're going to have a rematch. It's going to be an entertaining fight. I think that David Benavidez is going to put a lot of physical pressure on Demetrius Andrade tonight, a lot of mental pressure, and I think ultimately he's going to drop Demetrius Andrade at some point in time. I believe possibly about in the 4th or 5th round, he might drop Demetrius Andrade, but Andrade is going to get up, and he's going to drop David Benavidez in like the 7th, 8th round, in my opinion, and then Demetrius Andrade is going to win a split decision victory over David Benavidez. It's going to be shocking. Because when it goes to the scorecards, because Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez is such a massive fight that many people are going to be expecting David Benavidez to get the nod. But he's not. He's not going to get the nod tonight. Shockingly, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade is going to shock the world tonight. And he's going to win a split decision victory over David Benavidez tonight en route to a rematch. A rematch that I think David Benavidez is going to win and ultimately head into that fight with Canelo Alvarez. So let's see how this super fight going to turn out tonight. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.